Hello, my name is Rory Richardson. I'm the Director of Go-to-Market for Amazon Q Developer, and we are at Amazon Generative AI Day, where we get to talk about best practices and use cases and how we're applying these technologies to transform Amazon itself. So today we're talking to Vaughn Schermerhorn. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah, thank you. My name is Vaughn Schermerhorn. I'm a director here at Amazon. I've been at Amazon for right around 14 years. Done a lot of different things in my time here. And I think today we're going to spend a lot of time talking about a portion of my job, which is customer reviews.
And customer reviews are critical for the success of Amazon.com. Yeah. So first, let's level set. Tell me how it was 2 years ago and how we were handling customer reviews, and then what projects we've taken on to transform it.
Sure. So what's really great about customer reviews and the work that we're doing right now, I like to talk about it as one of those overnight success stories that's been years in the making. We've spent a lot of time investing in the science behind customer reviews. And what I mean by that is that like customer reviews, like, look, if you're going to go buy something, you probably want to ask someone who you know and who knows you and can make a recommendation and help you kind of cut through that clutter. But not every purchase that we make, do we have someone like that in our lives? And that's where customer reviews come in, because Amazon's not telling you what to do. The manufacturer, the vendor, whomever, it's another customer who's like you, who has a life experience and a usage of that product like you. And that experience and trust has been critical since the very beginning. One of the issues, though, that we've seen for a long time, but we've been able to address over the last couple of years, is the fact that oftentimes we have too much. And if you're looking at a product that might have 10 or 15 reviews, okay, 100, 200, 1,000, 10,000. We have some that have 300, 400,000. Not many, but they're there. How could you possibly search through all of that and get the wisdom of the crowd out of that?
Right.
And so what we've used with science and generative AI is to distill the wisdom of the crowd into something that customers can access easily, understand easily, go as deep or as shallow as they want to, and still maintain that customer trust, still provide that transparency, still provide those guardrails. So 2 years ago, you would see the top ranked customer reviews that we had on the detail page, and you can still see them today. But what you can see now is a summarized paragraph leveraging generative AI that tells you what everyone has said about this product in a way that helps you make decisions. And it leverages specific aspects of the product that are derived from all of these reviews, right, that you can then, if that's the thing that interests you, let's say you're buying a baby stroller, there's something in there about the weight of the stroller, and you're like, that's super important to me because this is something I'm going to lift off the ground and put in the back of my car, back and forth. You can click on that aspect and then see a summarization that's specific to that aspect. So we're really giving customers the ability to know as much or as little as they want to with as little work on their part.
I mean, zooming out for just a second, and we'll get back to the specific use case. This feels like we're democratizing analysis on a scale that I didn't even think was possible.
Right. And well, it wasn't just a couple of years ago. And now it is. And it's been an amazing partnership with all of the teams within AWS to be able to get here, to kind of describe what it is that we wanted to deliver for customers, to leverage not just some of our generative AI tools, but to better leverage SageMaker, to better leverage other tools within the AWS suite, to put our pipelines together in a way that we can go from non-generative AI science smoothly into generative AI to create a pipeline that builds this tool for customers that is cheap, flexible, extensible worldwide, almost no latency the way that we're building it. Yeah. And AWS has been our partner in taking our vision and making it into production every step of the way.
What was the hardest thing that you had to take on in this project? I mean, like...
all of it. Yeah.
I mean, how long did it take you from having a vision of where the North Star experience for customers, where you wanted to go, to getting it actually in production?
So believe it or not, we were actually way faster than I thought we could be, and that maybe a lot of other people thought we could be. We were able to leverage a body of work and some scientific research that we'd been doing for years that helped us study the language of customer reviews and understand what customers were talking about at scale. And then when generative AI became more of a reality, to layer that in, to be able to provide the right insights with the right CX for customers, we were very, very excited and pleased to be able to do it. And it's funny how durable that experience has been, even as the company continues to launch some amazing magic-like things. We're continuing to invest in this particular feature that isn't as open-ended as many of the things that Amazon and AWS are working on, but it is very valuable for customers. I've been working on some version of customer reviews for 7-8 years now at this point, and this is the first feature that when I tell people what I do, they're like, "Oh, I use that," and they're excited, and I can see it in their face. And so, at Amazon, we measure.
So you can tell your mom what you do.
Exactly. And she's like, "I use that. I used that feature just last week to buy this thing, and it was great." And that's been super satisfying and super fun for not just me, but the team and everybody that's been involved.
No, I get it. I don't think my parents know what my college degree is in. So one of the things with customer reviews that is absolutely paramount earns trust. Like,
totally.
If trust is broken in the review process, if you feel like it's a chatbot,
right,
you absolutely dismiss it. So what are some of the guardrails that you've had to think through in order to ensure authenticity and integrity in the customer reviews so that the consumer can trust?
We very much depend on our annotation team to help us go through cycles to make sure that the aspects that we're deriving from customer reviews, as well as the way that we're summarizing and the way that we're presenting them, allow for the customer voice to come through as much as possible. We always want this to be about the customer, both the shopping customer and the ones that are writing the reviews. We built a CX in a way that allows you to click through and see the reviews that the summarization or the aspects are derived from, so that if you want to check our work, you can check our work. And we've built tons of guardrails and checks and double checks, both into the code that we're using in the pipeline that we're using, but also with the instructions that we use with our human annotation team and the cycles of annotation that we do. Because as you mentioned, the most important thing that we have and that we absolutely cherish when it comes to customer reviews is the trust of our customers. If they can't trust us, we don't have anything. And so that's been something that's been baked into our experience from day one.
So what's next with, and like, where's your North Star? What is the art of the possible of where you can take this?
That we have so many hopes and dreams in this space. But ultimately what it comes back to is our goal has been for years and will remain helping customers, and this is a little bit of Amazon speak, but helping customers make unregretted purchasing decisions. Really giving them the tools and the information to feel confident in the purchase and the choice that they're making. And there's a lot of different ways to solve that, and we're solving it from one particular angle. But as we look at this, we launched in the US and we launched in English, and then we expanded to other marketplaces in English. And we've just now, within the last couple of months, started to launch in European countries and a couple of other marketplaces where English is not the primary language. So into German, into French, into Spanish. Amazon is a very big company, and we have shopping opportunities in lots of different countries and lots of different languages. So we are definitely in the process of going worldwide. We're playing with multilingual and cross-lingual models. We see huge opportunities there. I mean, the science is just changing so fast when it comes to human communication. We're super excited in that space.
And personalization.
I
mean, those markets would make different type of decisions with different priorities.
They do. And the reviews will reflect that. Someday, I would love to present to you customer reviews that are important to you.
Right.
And maybe only you, in terms of like what's important to Rory and her decision-making process and the things that she wants to know about a review, and take that wisdom of the crowd and make it personalized and individual.
If I was buying a piece of clothing and maybe the reviews from 5'3" women would be of a higher priority to someone like me.
Height, weight, size, price point, like quality. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hazard a guess that my 15-year-old who loves clothing has a very different price point and taste in clothes than you do. And right now, as you're looking through, we can't help you as much as I would like to be able to do when it comes to those things. So, I'm all about listening to our customers as much as possible and giving that information back to other customers in a way that is as easy for them to use to make the perfect shopping decision for them as fast as possible and as easy as possible.
How are you measuring the ROI or the impact of this investment? Because a lot of times when you're a company, you have to invest in things that is the right thing, but you're not exactly sure how you're going to measure the ROI. And of course, we measure everything here.
We do.
So how do we see that impacting, consumers' purchasing decisions?
Well, we look at a lot of things, and actually we're pretty lucky with this feature that a lot of the metrics that we measure within the store were positively impacted by this feature right off the bat. Customers told us almost from day one, I love this. This is adding value. More of this, please.
Okay.
And we saw it not only in the results that we got when we would test things A/B against each other, but we would see it in where customers were spending their time, meaning we saw that customers were spending less time having to read through as many reviews. And a lot of times people would say like, oh, people are using my feature less. That means this isn't good. But in my case, if people are able to make that decision,
right, you can measure how fast they get to a decision.
That's right.
Oh, that's an interesting metric. I
didn't
consider that.
And we can see how much they're interacting with the summary, how much they're clicking through to explore more, how often they're doing that when the item maybe costs more versus less, or they're making a tougher decision.
Yeah, the heuristics are fascinating.
And it gives us insight into some things that we want to be able to do in the future.
It gets me thinking about discoverability as well. I mean, like, what if I could search just on customer reviews to get a recommendation and not necessarily the product name?
Well, so here's an example I like to use a lot. Customers will tell you if they think, for example, this chair.
Yeah.
Is this chair comfortable? I mean, you could ask the manufacturer. I think they're probably going to tell you yes, but what does that really matter?
It doesn't really help.
Or how do you compare it? But if 1,000 customers have bought this chair and they overwhelmingly say that it's comfy, we can put that information into other places within the shopping experience so that if you were to then search for a comfy chair, this is it. It's been approved by customers. They are saying it's comfortable and you can trust them and find it in our store through that way.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.